This is Trudy Howard from Howard Tax Prep LLC, and this video is to show you how to complete the rental property worksheet that we have for tax preparation. So in the beginning or at the top, you're going to put your name, wireless phone, the best email, and the tax year that you are completing the form for. So for example, right now we are in 2024, so the tax year that we are completing returns for is 2023. If you have back tax returns, you will put whatever year you're needing a tax return filed for into this area. As you move down, you will see a location for the property address as well as the city, state, and zip. We ask that you complete that in full. Rents received on 1099s. Some clients have Section 8 tenants, or they have clients that where a charity may be paying the rents, etc. So you will put that amount here. So if you have a 1099 from Chicago Housing Authority for 20,000, you will put that amount here because you received it on a 1099. And then rent that your client pays you. Sometimes clients have a copay and they pay that in cash. You're going to put the cash amount here. If you have not received any rent on a 1099, then all of your rental income would be in the section that says rents received, not on 1099s. So if you have a 3 unit and you live in 1 unit, and you are renting out 2 units at $2,000 each, and you're being paid cash or Zelle, it doesn't have to be literal cash, then the amount that you received in cash will be $48,000. So you will put that here. If you have a mortgage on your property, you're going to put the first mortgage here. Sometimes people refinance to pull additional monies out, so that's why we have the second mortgage interest statement. Or you may even have 3 mortgage interests providers. So you'll make sure that you put the amount of interest that you paid and the lender. If you have your 1098 and the 1098 mortgage interest is clearly defined, having the rental property address listed on the 1098, you do not have to complete this section as we can read the 1098. If you've already completed the top portion with the rent, the amounts received, you don't necessarily have to fill out the top portion of the second page. So we already have the address, we have the rent that you already collected. So this page is where you will put down your expenses. So taxes, insurance, if you have an alarm system, trash removal, water, if you had any repairs done. So a repair is anything $2,500 or less. And an improvement would be, instead of you having your roof repaired, you got a whole new roof or whole new storm doors, etc. So you give us the annual amount for the repairs. I'm sorry, you give us the annual amount for your utilities, insurance, etc. And then if the repairs are in your unit, let's say you have 2 units, so it would be unit 1A repaired drywall. So that we'll know that we don't need to prorate that. And this applies to multi-family or multi-home landlords. If you just have one single family home that you're renting out, obviously you don't have to put unit 1 or unit 2, because everything that you did is applicable to that particular single family home. If you have any out of town rentals, so I do have clients that live in Illinois, they may have rentals in Mississippi, Alabama, they're just all over. If you fly to those locations to check on your property, we can deduct the airfare. If you drive, you, instead of auto rentals, you will provide us with your mileage, year, make, and model of your car, etc. Now with your cell phone, if you have a cellular bill for $150 a month and you may make 2 or 3 calls to your, tenants. You know that you can't take 100% of the cell phone bill just because you made 3 business calls. So you will put down maybe $10 times 12 months will be $120. Same thing with your internet. So they're usually 5 to 10% business for cellular phone and internet. Now, if there are any other expenses to your rentals, for example, there are people that have a fence installed, but then they have additional expenses with the fence. They're like little spikes. You could put that down as well. So this is in this box is where you will give us any additional information. Improvements, just whether you think it's an improvement or a repair, just give us the name, the service, and the amount of the service, and then we can figure out what is an improvement or a repair. Page 4 just kind of lets you know what rental property and depreciation is. This page sometimes is just more confusing for people rather than helpful, but if you are someone that can kind of read and understand what's here, this is just letting you know these are examples of what's an improvement because some people don't know what an improvement is. So if you have a new septic system put in, you would tell me septic system installed 3/1/2023 for $15,000 and 2 windows repair, etc. So what you would not do is just say $20,000 kitchen repairs because that doesn't tell us anything. We need details in the event you are audited. For new clients, you can provide us with your closing disclosure so we'll know, or for those that are new to having a rental property, you will give us your purchase date, the purchase price, but again, we need the closing disclosure because most people just give the sales price and they forget about all of the other expenses like perfecting the title, transfer fees, etc., that will go into the basis of the property. Then we need to know the date the property was available and ready for rent. So you may have it ready February 2nd of 2024, but you may not get your first tenant until April 1st of 2024. We're going to go with the date the property was available for rent and then the date that your tenant moved in. And this just gives you some more details regarding the property and what is considered placed in service. Fair market value when placed in service, that's something that we will figure out. You do not need to figure that out. Sometimes people have a home that they've lived in and then they change it over to a rental property. Again, we would just need your closing disclosure when you purchase your home and any information. Let's say you purchased a home, but then you had a new roof put in or you had new siding. Those things will be added to your basis as well so that we can depreciate or spread the cost of your asset over a period of time so that you get the tax deductions for that. Sale management, if you sold a property, we do have a different worksheet for that. So you really don't need to worry about this particular sheet. Page 7 just tells you about more mileage, home office, and who is considered a real estate professional. Um, but you don't necessarily need to fill that out. We'll ask you any questions to figure that out. Okay. You're going to sign and print your name. It's not necessarily necessary to have your spouse sign and print if you are the one who handles the business. Now, on page 8, we have included a Howard Tax Prep Auto Expense Worksheet, and this is typically for a person that's just putting a rental into service because we have found that people go back and forth to Home Depot, Menards. They may go buy appliances and furniture and different things like that. So if we can take your mileage, back and forth meeting with contractors and you've kind of tracked that, then you can provide us with that information as well so that we can give you credit for the mileage that you drove. You don't have to worry about the business connection. Well, you can tell us, like I said, going back and forth to repair stores, meeting with contractors. These rates have changed. Obviously, this sheet is from 2022, so don't worry about the actual where it's at 62.5 cents per mile. For a landlord, you're just going to really be filling out the page 8 portion, giving us the vehicle, year, make, and model, when did you start using it, and the amount of business miles that you drove, and the purpose of what you were driving for. And then you fill out this other sheet. Do you have another vehicle available for personal use? So, with a spouse, if you can drive your spouse's car, then yes, you do have another vehicle available for personal use. Most of you will not be reimbursed for travel expense, so obviously you're going to say no there. And the mileage log is not really super necessary when we're dealing with rentals. This would be if you have a small business and we're taking over 1,000 miles, then we need to make sure that we are tracking, although you should track at all times. I don't want you tracking mileage for 2 or 3 trips out of a year from your home to your rental property. Okay, so I hope this helps. Like I said, the most important page is page 2 and page 1 of this packet. So please make sure that you complete those, and you're giving me the annual expense. You don't have to try to do the math if it's multifamily and you're trying to do 3/4 or you know, 0.33. We don't need that. We just need the annual amount for each of these categories. All right. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. Email is the best way. And you can email us at admin@howardtaxprep.com. Thank you.